What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management, back here to bring you guys another video today. So we've had the very first trading week of 2022, and it was a little bit of a tough week, a little bit of a rough week, and I thought I'd just make a video which is more kind of educational and kind of a video that could just help you guys potentially in this market. You know, there's a lot of new traders out there, and I've had people reach out to me to tell me they're struggling, but especially when it comes to options trading. So we're going to specifically talk about just trading, how you can trade in this bear market, also just covering some basics of options trading, especially when it comes to things like support and resistance, indicators, that kind of stuff. But like I said, we're just going to go over a lot of different things in today's market, and hopefully this video can help many people out there so that when it comes to options trading, not only will they obviously make some money in the market, but they'll also manage to avoid certain risks and also avoid potential losses. Now, before we jump into today's video, the first thing I'd like to say is please make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video. These videos do take time. Of course, like I said, this is the first trading week of 2022. I'm trying to help you guys, so I'd definitely appreciate if you guys could help me as well. And also make sure you guys comment, let me know your thoughts, let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know how your time in the market has been recently. And as always, make sure you guys subscribe if you're new around here for more videos just like this. So here I have the S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol SPY, also known as SPY. Now, what I want you to do when it comes to options trading, the first thing I want you to do when it comes to any stock, honestly, zoom out. Zoom out. Because yesterday SPY dropped. I think SPY dropped a few times this week. But the first thing I want you to do, like I said, is zoom out. Look at the 1 year chart. That's what I like to do. Look at the 1 year chart. And as you can see on the 1 year chart, if we look at last year, January 8th, SPY was around $374. So it was around $90 less than where it currently is at. But my point here is, of course, there's been ups and downs along the way, but overall, until now, it's been bullish. So what does that mean? Well, for starters, let's say you wanted to trade SPY. You might want to buy an option which expires next week Friday, saying that SPY is going to be at 470. And potentially that could work, potentially it might not work, I don't know. But if you zoom out, like I said, isn't it a lot more likely that SPY hits 470, 472, maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out, 6 weeks out? It's a lot safer when you look at it that way. When you zoom out on the chart, it gives you a lot more perspective on what the stock itself is doing. And especially for those of you who are newer traders out here, that is one of the most valuable things you can do. Get a real perspective and get a real indication of what a stock is going to do, but also give you time on your contracts. So when it comes to options trading, what would I do here if I did want to buy a SPY contract for 470 or for 472? Okay, so I can zoom in a little bit here. So look at the levels that SPY has dropped to right now. 465, 466, around where this moving average is. I believe this is the 20-day moving average. Let's just have a look. Oh, this is the orange is the 50-day moving average. Okay, so it's dropped to a level of 465. Let's look at when it last dropped to a level of 465. So, okay, here it dropped a little bit lower, 456, but it was on the moving average, right? So from this level to get to 470, how long did it take? Okay, well, here we can see 30th of November, it was around 456. When did it hit 470? 10th of December. So from the 30th of November to 10th of December, roughly 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks, right? So now we're at 466. To get up to 470 or 472, well, last time it took around 2 weeks for a bigger rise. Maybe at this time I'd say, you know what? I might even give myself 3 weeks. I might give myself a month to buy that option. And guess what? Most likely, of course it's not guaranteed, but most likely, by the time SPY gets back to 470, 472, yes, a week or maybe even 2 weeks or less than a month would have passed. But your contracts would obviously be in the money by then, and you will still make profit as long as your Greeks are in the right position. So what am I trying to say here? Well, the very first thing is know about your entries. I know there's plenty of people right now who will buy a call right now. Guess what? Potentially, SPY drops more next week or the week after or whenever, and eventually it comes down to 456 again. Now, who knows when that could happen? Because right here, Back in November, someone might have said, you know what, I'm about to buy a call for SPY. It's going to go back up. And before they know it, it's dropped down even lower. So my point here is wait for a stock to do what it does. And once you can identify a clear trend, then trade it. I mean, potentially here, you could buy calls or puts depending on what you see in this chart. Let's just zoom in. It could be calls or puts for yourself. You could say, oh, it's bounced on this moving average, this 50-day moving average. It's time to buy calls. Somebody else might read it as, oh, it's about to fall below this moving average. I'm going to gamble early and buy puts. Obviously, we don't know who's right until the stock actually plays out. This is just a moving average. Anything can still happen. But the point I'm trying to make again is wait for the stock to do what it does before you decide I'm going to trade it. Here you can see 4 or 5 green candles back to back to back to back. So that's pretty much a week straight of SPY just going up. Would you not much rather trade this on the way up with call options than trade it here, or do you not trade it here and it drops, trade it somewhere here and it drops first, or here and then drops first? It would be much easier to trade it here when it's showing a bullish trend and it's green candles back to back to back. That's what I want you guys to see. Now, again, if you zoom out, you can identify a clear bullish trend on SPY over the past year, over the past 7-8 months. And that's the important thing to remember. It's not all doom and gloom because of what happened today, yesterday, this past week, 2022 so far. It's not always that. Now, let's touch on support and resistance. And I'm going to go with a stock that you've seen me trade multiple times over the past 6 or 7 weeks. I'd say since the week of Thanksgiving, I've been trading this stock consistently. Let's do what I just told you and zoom out. 1 year. Let's look at the 1 year chart. So very clearly, Baba is showing a very bearish trend over the past year. It was, let's see where it was. It was over $250 just 1 year ago, January 2021. Now it's all the way down to 129. That's unbelievable. That's a crazy drop. But what are we going to do here? Obviously, because it's been dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping, let's find a clear level of support. And as you can obviously see, there's a green line there at the $110.48 price point, where we see a very clear level of support, a very strong level of support. So where did I get that from? Look at here, 21st of September 2016. That's a previous level of resistance, and it also became a new level of support this year and also towards the end of last year. As you guys should know by now, previous levels of resistance can become new levels of support and vice versa. So let's zoom in and let's see what's been happening with this stock. So Alibaba has hit this price point of $110 a few times over the past 6 weeks. And as you guys know, we made money on the way down and also on the way up briefly. But look here, 3rd of December, it hit 110, started uptrending again. Then again, 30th of December, it hit 110, started uptrending again. So it's happened twice now. So let's say Alibaba starts to downtrend from where it's at currently. Let's say it starts to downtrend heavily. What would I do? Well, obviously, I would start looking at puts to the downside towards $110. Would I buy a $110 put expiring the closest Friday? No, because again, it doesn't necessarily do what we want it to do in the time that we would like. I would first let the stock drop. When it breaks this moving average to the downside, then I would look at the puts. And this moving average right now is at $122. So obviously, I'm looking at the daily chart. But if you look at shorter time frames, let's see. Sorry, let's look at the 4 hour. If you look at shorter time frames, you might get a different picture from if you're looking at a daily time frame, and that's always important to identify. So here you see the moving averages are different to the daily time frame, and these are the kind of things I want you guys to notice. Here, before it was trending below all the moving averages, so it was a very clear bearish trend all the way down to 110. It started trending up again, kind of got rejected, well, consolidated a bit, and then sold off. Below the moving averages again, down to 110. Here, it's still above all the moving average, well, above 3 of the 4 moving averages. Once it breaks below all these moving averages, and especially if the green moving average, the 20-day, curls up below the 50-day moving average, expect a sell-off. If that was to happen, that's when I would take action and buy puts. And it's not like, oh, I've missed, the drop because it dropped from 129 to 122. Not necessarily. you can still get eat on a drop from 121 all the way to $110 easily. And this is something you can repeat multiple times on a stock. And it's something I've done with Alibaba multiple times on a stock. If it starts breaking out above the moving averages, then I will buy call options as we did this past week. If it starts trending below all moving averages as it did here, as it did again here, then I will buy put options on it. And this is a stock I've traded from about 140, wherever that is, around here, all the way down to 110, up again, down again from 120 or maybe 118 down to 110, then up again towards $130 or even $133. When you identify a real trend, a clear trend, it makes trading these stocks a lot easier, especially when it comes to options. Here, Alibaba is sitting at not exactly a point of resistance, but it's sitting just below the moving average, right? I'll wait to see what it does. If it breaks above that, it could start trending with enough volume and buying price action up towards the next moving average. Again, if you zoom out, you can see, identify clear trends of it. It could still be going lower, over the next couple months. It could be. But what you want to do is always zoom out, get yourself a nice look at the bigger picture, understand what you're trading, understand what sectors are doing what. And speaking of sectors, I'm going to look at QQQ now. Understand what you're looking at. Here's all my levels. And as you guys can see, I have identified clear levels of resistance, support, another level of previous resistance now becoming a new level of support. And all of these kind of things are essential to you actually becoming good in the market and actually making money. I cannot stress it enough. Risk management is essential. Don't go now and buy a $300 or $400 call for QQQ expiring the first week of February. Yes, it might make you a load of money if you were to buy that, but you want to see what happens in the meantime. It may fall below this level of support right now and fall lower towards this moving average, or fall lower all the way to the next level of support at 352. And this is where people get clapped in options. They want to guess the trend. They want to get into an option too quickly. They want to get into too soon. And that is what hurts so many people, because you also have the Greeks. Remember the Greeks. If your theta is really going to rip into your option, and it does do that with a lot of short-term options on stocks like QQQ or SPY, if your theta is high, it's going to destroy your option. And by the time the stock has already dropped so far, your options could be down 70, 80%. When in theory, you could have waited one more day, 2 more days. You could have looked at different charts, identified different trends, shorter term trends before you looked at the overall trend. And that's where the issue is. A lot of you have the potential to be good traders. A lot of you need to identify sometimes specific levels of support and resistance before getting into a trade. See what the stock is doing, see what the price action is doing in regards to the moving averages, in correlation to where the moving averages have been on a 4-hour chart, on a 15-minute chart, on a 5-minute chart. All that kind of stuff is essential when it comes to trading options. And I can't stress it enough. Don't over leverage. Don't go into play with way more money than you can afford to lose. Don't go into play and then just hope and hold on. When it's time to cut, it's time to cut. If a stock breaks a clear bullish trend and starts downtrending, as I've seen before, or I've seen this week with Apple, then please cut out of that trade. Here, with Apple, is what I'm saying. There's a clear bullish trend. Apple was hanging above this green line and above all the moving averages for a while. From October, that's 2 months straight, hanging above all the moving averages. Here now, it just broke below one of the moving averages. That's the end of a bullish trend. And that's the kind of thing you need to identify. At this price point, it was still above this green line, this moving average. This price point is now below the moving average. That is a break of a bullish trend. And that's the kind of thing which can help you now buy puts. Maybe short term, but you can still buy puts and make money off the puts. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Hopefully you guys can enjoy this one and learn from it this weekend. Of course, 1 week down, 51 weeks to go. And if you need help with stock options, please check out the stock option starter pack. Hundreds of people have bought that. They have access to that for life. The stock option starter pack will be of great use to you, especially when it comes to understanding the Greeks, their impact on options, understanding what kind of options I trade, understanding different trading strategies that are out there that exist, difference between buying and selling calls, buying and selling puts, cash secured puts, covered calls, all that kind of stuff is in the options pack, as well as all the terminology and things you need to know when it comes to trading options. As always, you guys know you can catch me in the Discord. We are going to be in the Trading Academy quite often now, pretty much every day, as we have always been, to be honest. We are taking it to the next level this year in the Discord. There's many of you guys out there who could benefit from being in the Discord. I know that for a fact. So make sure you guys check out the Discord. I'm in there every single day. We're doing more lessons, educational lessons. Every single day we're analyzing stocks in there, looking at stock flows, looking at charts, looking at so many different things in the Discord. So make sure you guys come and check it out. Throughout this year, we're trying to focus more on education, helping people become better traders. So make sure you guys come and tap in with us. We've always got people in there analyzing charts, looking at flows, breaking down stocks, looking at what we're trading next, calling out different things. So make sure you guys come and check it out. We've got a completely free section, as you guys can see. We've also got the paid section, so you guys can decide what you want. But the link is in the description below. Also, make sure you guys drop that thumbs up, as I've said already. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure you guys drop a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share, and be back here next time for another video. Peace.
Game over.